Are you all right, dear? Hot tears dropped from Binta's eyes. I am not a prostitute, she said angrily. And who called you a prostitute? Tracy? Mr. Jude was about getting out of the car to meet Tracy when Binta continued ranting. I am only asking for my legal right as a wife. For crying out loud, he deceived me. I understand the biblical principle of keeping my body holy till I'm married, but the concept of selfless. She paused suddenly, realizing she had said more than she should have out of anger. Mr. Jude was staring at her as she remained speechless. I am sorry, sir. Please just take me back to the office. Let me get my car, she said finally after realizing she had spit out too much to her boss's earrings. Binta, what is the problem? Mr. Jude asked calmly, holding her hands. She knew it would be wrong for her to confide in him, especially after hearing from him that he has a soft spot for her. She said in her mind, no matter how desperate I am for a confidant to speak to, I will never confide in my boss. I don't like the way your cousin spoke to me. Mr. Jude took a deep breath before speaking. I am sorry, dear. I should have told you a little about her before bringing you down here. You see, Tracy can be somehow funny, maybe a bit crazy. He smiled and continued. It takes someone who is so patient to enjoy and gain from our counseling section. At the beginning, you will feel confused as to where she's headed to. You might even become defensive because it will appear as if she's trying to attack your personality. But if you can be patient enough, you will get to know that all those strategies were just for her to help you find a solution from the angle you were not expecting. She's very crazy, I know, but she's one of the best counselors I've ever met. Trust me, I am not being sentimental. So that's the way she was taught her own counseling courses in the university. Going about asking embarrassing questions from people, Binta asked, putting up her upper lip scornfully while Mr. Jude laughed. I like the look on your face anytime you do that, he said, while imitating her. And Binta waved her hands in the air. She wasn't in the mood for any of his jokes. You need to calm down, dear, he said. Everyone is just telling me to calm down. Mr. Jude, Crazy Tracy, and my husband. It's really easy, to advise troubled soul to calm down when you are not in their shoes. If Prosper was the one in my shoes, then he will understand the gravity of what he has done. If Mr. Jude were to be in my shoes, he won't even remember the word calm, not to talk of down. And that crazy Tracy, I am sure if she were to be in my shoes, she would have filed for a divorce. Would you like to go back in there? Mr. Jude asked Binta, bringing her back from her subconsciousness. Nope. Maybe some other day, but not today. I can't stay a minute with her. All right then. Let me just drive you home. I will order one of the securities to bring your car to your house. Is that okay by you? She couldn't turn down the offer because she was really too angry to drive. Okay, sir. Thanks a lot for stressing this much because of me. You deserve better, Binta. So how far? Have you changed your mind? About what? She asked, not certain of what he meant. I mean, are you coming for my birthday party? Let's be hopeful, sir. I am not yet sure. All right then. Let's be hopeful, like my madam has said, he repeated, looking at the rearview mirror. He dropped her off at the gate and she appreciated his kind gesture before walking in. Welcome, love, Prosper greeted as he walked up to her. He planted a kiss on her cheek and collected her bag. What happened to your car, babe? Nothing. I couldn't drive it. Someone is bringing it though. What happened to you? Are you sick? He started touching her head, neck, hands, checking everywhere to be sure she was alright. But none of it moved Binta. I am fine, Prosper. There is nothing wrong with me, she shouted at him. I am sorry. I just wanted to be sure you are alright. Thanks. I am fine, she said sharply. We need to talk, dear. Please, Prosper. I am tired. I am just coming back from work. I need to rest. I am sorry, but it's better we talk about it now. Please take a seat. He helped her to a seat which Binta took reluctantly. He sat beside her and started the conversation. It's barely 4 days after our wedding, love, and you have resumed work. You told me last week before the wedding that your boss gave you a week for the honeymoon. Because of that, I too deliberately decided to take a week off, just so we could spend enough time together. But things have not been the way I planned it. You haven't been friendly and loving towards me, especially after you saw the message my sister sent to me. I have told you the message is not about any concubine or wife anywhere. Prosper, I know. Can I go now? She interrupted him angrily. Please hold on, let's talk as husband and wife. Okay. I promise you anything you want me to do, I will do it. Just please let's stop behaving like strangers around each other. You will do anything I ask you to do? Binta asked. Yes, I promise. Okay, dear. End that 7 days fasting and prayers now and make me a woman. Even if it's just for tonight, I will be fine. You can continue the fasting and prayers later. I promise you, I won't disturb you. Now, that was deliberate. Prosper scratched his head before speaking. Babe, you know, I don't, as in, if you may, he had begun to shudder. Binta kept staring at him, waiting for him to tell another lie. I mean, this fasting and prayer is for the benefit of you and I. It is very much mandatory that I finish this fasting and prayer. She hissed and stood up immediately. Okay, I promise you, after this fasting and prayer, we will consummate our union. You think you can hide this secret forever, Prosper? I already know you have a problem, Binta blurted out. What problem? You are incapable of performing as a man, Prosper. I know that already. Who told you that? That's not true. Don't you dare deny it, Prosper. How could you be so heartless, wicked, and deceitful? You deceived me. So all those times we were cutting and you were flirting with me, telling me you can't wait to have me. You can't wait to do this. You can't wait to do that. So they were just your own way of distracting my attention from your problem, Binta said, almost at the verge of tears. Who fed you with all those lies? Keep asking me, Oga. Binta, please don't give the devil a chance. Whoever it is that is feeding you with all these lies only want to ruin our marriage. Don't allow them be. Oh, please, spare me the gibberish. Soon, people will start expecting my tummy to protrude. How do I bear the shame when they begin to question me? Prosper, I promise you this one thing. I will pay you back. She started mounting the stairs, crying along as Prosper followed her. Babe, babe, wait. Babe, I said I am not incapable. I am man enough. I just want to finish up with the fasting first. Babe, listen to me. He held her hands as she was about to shut the bedroom door at him. Prosper pulled her to himself and wrapped her in an embrace as Binta fought to get out of his grip. You deceived me. You lied to me. Calm down, please. Calm down and just listen to me. I didn't deceive you. I love you so much. I will never do anything to hurt you. Please calm down. I am not impotent, sweet. Please listen. How many other shocking revelations are awaiting me in this marriage? Tell me, how many other lies would I have to bear? None, babe. Just please hear me out first. I said I am not impotent. Then touch me, kiss me, hug me, do the do. Not yet. I can't. Why? Because I am fasting. You liar. No, it is because you are impotent. You are not a man. You are just another woman with a man figure. Stop, Binta. Stop right away, Prosper said, covering his ears with his hands. But Binta was not yet through. She was burning in anger. In the face of the raw truth, her husband was still lying. You are an Enoch from birth, who only wanted to drag me into the mess you can't find solution to. You are just a useless impotent. Prosper raised his hand to slap her, and she held his shirt, daring him to give her the slap. His hand froze in the air as he stared angrily at her. His eyes were red, covered with a mist of tears. But Binta didn't care. Binta, let go of my shirt, he said calmly as he brought down his hand. Beat me up, Prosper. Beat me, oh. Let the whole world know that you are just a bloody pretender. Oh, guy said beat me. You have been pretending to the world to be a calm brother, not knowing that you are a wife beater. Beat me up because I demanded for my rights. Beat me, Prosper. You must lay those hands of yours on me. Let the world know that you beat your wife up barely 4 days after wedding. I am sorry. I didn't know what came over me. Those words were too painful for me to bear. You know I will never lay a finger on you. Please let go of me, Binta. Don't give the devil a chance. Tears were flowing from his face as he spoke, but Binta still didn't care because she too had begun to shed tears. Binta, please leave my shirt. I am truly sorry. It won't happen again. I can't beat you up and you know that. Please, my darling wife. Binta let go of his shirt and he brought her to sit on their matrimonial bed. He tried to wipe her face with an handkerchief, but she didn't let him. All her life, she had never imagined this kind of scene would come to play in her marriage. She had always looked at couples who fight or quarrel as immature. No wonder the elders normally advise that we don't give a chance to the devil. because any small crack in marriage can lead or cause a great havoc. I am truly sorry. Binta, please don't be offended. I didn't intend to slap you. I will never slap you, my Binta. I had promised that I would never lay a finger on you to beat you, no matter the provocation. I am sorry I almost broke that promise today, but I thank God for grace. Binta laid on the bed, turning her back at him. Her shoes were still on her legs. He came closer to pull them off, and Binta almost hit him with the heels. 7 days will soon be over, she kept saying in her mind. Now I understand why some churches insist on going for a test that will prove if both partners are capable of fulfilling each other's sexual demand. Maybe if I had known, I too would have insisted on such tests. Love is selfless, she heard a voice whispered to her mind. But she was too angry to let the Holy Spirit interpret further. She blamed herself, thinking if her prayer life had been stronger, then who knows, maybe God would have won her ahead and she would have run for her dear life. 1 Corinthians 10 verse 13. She heard the voice saying again, but she didn't know what is in there and she didn't bother to check. The next few days was nothing to write home about, apart from the normal greetings and one or two other very few mandatory words she said to Prosper. They didn't communicate at all. Her parents kept calling to ask for their welfare, and she kept assuring them that all was well. At a time, her mom sent her a message and asked her to fast because she had a terrifying dream about her. She ignored the message completely because she was at her low moments. She felt if God really loves her and if she was one of those he answers their prayers, then she wouldn't have been in this condition. She didn't feel the need of any fasting and prayer. When Prosper realized she wasn't ready to listen to him, he too resumed back to work immediately. The following week, on a Wednesday morning, she got to her office and found a bag on her desk. When she checked inside, it was a nice silver color gown decorated with diamonds. The gown was extremely beautiful. She knew it would cost a fortune. But who could have dropped this expensive gift in my office? She asked no one in particular. She checked inside the bag again and she found a short note written to her. That's a gift from me to you on my birthday, the message read. Oh, I forgot. It's Mr. Jude's birthday today. She rushed down to his office. He was on call. Several people were calling him already to wish him a happy birthday. He beckoned on her to come in and take a seat. For like 10 minutes, he was talking and laughing with the person on the other side. She noticed his second phone kept beeping non-stop. Messages upon messages. Okay, Mom. I love you too. Bye, he said and hung up the call. It rang almost immediately, but he ignored it. Binta didn't know who the caller was, but she guessed it should be one of those babes looking for greener pastures. Hey, Binta. How are you this morning? I am fine, sir. I am so sorry I forgot it's your birthday today. Please pardon my manners. He smiled and said, Did you receive my gift? Yes, sir. It is so beautiful. I really like it. But I should be the one to get you a gift, not the other way round. And Jude waved his hand in his air. That's to say, it wasn't necessary. So have you changed your mind? He asked, and Binta moved her head to say no. Do I need to beg you now before you attend my party? At least make it an honor. After all, I'm still your boss. I am not forcing you though. I just want to see you there. Or better still, make it a way of saying you're sorry for not remembering my birthday, he said, and they both laughed. Okay, sir, you win. I'll be coming for the party. Now that's cool. Thank you and see you at the party. Or should I send my driver to come pick you up from your house? No, sir. I'll prefer to come on my own. Happy birthday, sir, she said before leaving for her office. Amara came to her office during lunchtime. She asked if she would be attending Mr. Jude's birthday party, and Binta said yes. She asked what color she would be using, and Binta told her she hasn't concluded. Within her, she was still battling with the thought of whether to wear the nice gown her husband got for her or the one Mr. Jude got. At exactly 3 p.m., they were all released to go home to prepare for the party. She drove down home thinking of whether to send a message to Prosper that she was going for a birthday party or to wait for him to come back home before she leaves. She said, "Perhaps Prosper and I will go together. That's one of the things couples do together. Maybe I should start from there and see if the counselor's formula works out." She drove into her compound and saw someone that looks like they may be her friend already waiting for her. She said, "I hope all is well. I mean, she hasn't spoken to me since the last incident at her house. She has been ignoring my messages too. Why the unexpected visit?" She became troubled as the dream she had days ago came back to her memory. She alighted from the car and hurried up to meet her friend, not minding the rift between them. "Jumebi, are you all right? Is everything okay?" she asked out of fear that something might have gone wrong, and now she needed help. "Everything is fine," she answered with a smile, and Binta hugged her. "I am so sorry for the other day. I have really missed you," Binta said, still hugging her. "I should be the one apologizing, Binta. You were only trying to be a good friend. I am sorry I have not been replying your messages too." "It's okay, sweetie. Please come in." They held their hands and chatted as they walked in. No one would ever believe that these were the same two friends who ignored each other in church last Sunday. "So how's your husband?" Dumebi asked as she zipped the orange juice Binta gave her. "He's fine. He went to work. He should be back by 6 or 6:30 p.m. "Okay. Actually, I came here to apologize for all I said to you and about our friendship the other day. Dumebi, I should be the one saying sorry. Babe, I am really happy to see you here again." "Thanks, dear. Secondly, I want to inform you that I'll be having my introduction this Saturday, like in the next 3 days." "Oh my goodness!" Binta jumped up and rushed to give her a warm embrace. "Babe, I am so happy for you. Thank God. Hallelujah. At last. I am very, very excited. After the introduction, we will fix a date for our wedding. It's going to be next month by God's grace," she added. "Babe, I can't wait though. Prosper will be happy as well to hear this," Binta said. "Thank you, my dear friend. You know it was after you left my house the other day that I sat down and began to think of all that you said. I said, if I wasn't foolish truly, why will I allow a man to be sleeping with me for the past 5 years without any proper wedding? Just an ordinary proposal ring. I have had 2 abortions for him and would have committed the 3rd one had God not used you for me." "Hold on. Are you trying to say you are pregnant again?" Binta asked out of curiosity. As she nodded to confirm it, Binta took a deep breath. "I am a month gone already. I don't want to commit any abortion again. That's why I quickly want to have the wedding before my tummy starts shooting out. After the wedding, I will be relocating to Port Harcourt where my husband lives, so no one will be able to detect that I'm pregnant. But what about the marriage committee in church? You know a pregnancy test will be conducted. You are right. I have it all calculated out. That was why I insisted on having a court wedding. Deep within Binta, she wasn't really happy with the whole arrangement. Everything looked hypocritical to her. She also wasn't happy her friend would be getting married to Smith. To her, Smith is just an error no lady should commit. But she was happy that the baby would be getting married at last. Okay, dear. Just be prayerful, she said. She thought of relaying the terrible dream she had about her to her, but she didn't want to create fear in her heart. Moreover, they just reconciled. She didn't want to give the devil a chance to create another rift between them. So is Smith okay with the whole arrangement? She asked. Yes, although he felt reluctant at first. He wanted me to abort, claiming that he still needed more time to gather more money. But I bluntly refused. He had no choice than to agree to come for the introduction and then pay my bride price, she said. They discussed about several other things. Binta's mind just wasn't at peace because she already knew the kind of demon Smith is. She didn't want Dumebi to get trapped, but it is what it is. Dumebi left after she had spent quality time at her place. Prosper didn't come back in time, and Binta knew if she waited another minute for him, the party might have been over before she gets there. So she sent him a message informing him that she was going for a birthday party and would be there for like an hour before coming back home. She drove down to Mr. Ju's house where the party was to hold. She has been to the house just once. That was when he was indisposed and was unable to come to the office for 2 days. The whole place was filled with aroma of different sumptuous meal. Nice cool music from the background. She was in the gown her husband got for her. The different guests were engaged with one thing or the other. Hey! She heard this cool voice greeting from behind. Good evening, sir, she greeted in return. Happy birthday, she added. Thanks, dear. You look ravishing, he said, and Binta looked away coyly. I should introduce you to someone special to me, he added, and Binta thought immediately that it should be his girlfriend. Lucky girl, she said in her mind. Just a minute, she's busy upstairs. You know how you women can be so concerned about looking good. I'll be right back, he said and left. Binta kept admiring the sights that welcomed her eyes. She saw Amara and she waved at her. Amara stood up and started coming towards her when suddenly Binta felt a cold sensation on her body. Someone just poured her drink on her from her head to her shoulder and then some at her back. She turned to see who it was as people watched the sight with expressions she could not describe written on their faces. Oh, I am so sorry. It was a mistake, Teju said, smiling to her face. Amara rushed to the scene and heard Binta trying to calm her down. Teju, how could you be so senseless? Amara said, and she hissed. Sorry, Binta. Are you all right? You should probably use the bathroom. It's okay, Amara. I will just have to rush home now, Binta said, and as she took a step to walk out of the embarrassing scene, Teju put her leg forward, causing her to collide with it and falling like a mango tree on the tiled floor. Some of the people laughed, while others wanted to see if a dirty fight was just about to begin. A few others tried to help her up. Before she could stand up, Amara had given Teju a slap. She was about to return the slap when Mr. Jude came to the scene. What is going on here? His commanding voice echoed, followed by an immediate silence. Binta stood up immediately and rushed out of the scene towards her car. He followed her and kept asking her to stop, but she didn't. She stepped out of the scene and went home straight. How the party ended, she didn't know. She was really angry at Teju, but she knows fighting her back, especially in public, will reduce her steeze and will only bring her down to her level. She knew that her problem was that of jealousy. But for crying out loud, can somebody help us tell Teju for the countless time that Binta is now a married woman and not hindering her from marrying Mr. Jude, her crush? She got home and heard the sound of her husband in the living room. He was watching a match between Manchester and Chelsea. She's not a fan of football, but while she was in courtship with her husband, she followed him once to watch football at a viewing center. A goal! Prosper shouted, versing out his muscles as if he was the one playing the match. She wanted to walk in without him noticing her, but she knew that wasn't possible. If he sees her in that state, he would definitely ask what happened at the party since it didn't rain. He will want to know how and why she got wet. "Hey love," he greeted as she walked in. "Hi, how was work?" she asked as she mounted the stairs, not looking back at him. "Great. How was the party?" "Fine," she answered, and at the same time glad he didn't notice her wet clothes. His 7 days fasting and prayers ended yesterday, but she deliberately refused to bring up the topic about the inner room again, just to see how Tracy's counseling section will work out. Mr. Jude called her to apologize on behalf of Teju, as someone told him all that happened. Binta said it was fine. They talked about other things before they said their goodnight. It was already late, and she was too tired to cook. She was unable to eat anything at the party because of the stunts Teju pulled. She went to the refrigerator and got a bottle of granuts, some bananas with apple juice. That would serve as dinner. She was so sure Prosper would have taken care of himself. She knew she had begun to fail in her culinary duties, but she didn't care. After all, Prosper too was failing somewhere. The next day, she got dressed up and drove to the office, though the feelings from the embarrassing moment of yesterday was still there. She tried to play cool. She greeted her colleagues. Some of them apologized on behalf of Teju because they knew all she did was deliberate attempt to disgrace her. Binta smiled and appreciated their kind gestures before getting into her office. She had not even stayed up to 30 minutes before she suddenly heard Teju bursting in with tears in her eyes. "He sacked me because of you. I've worked with this company for 5 years and this is what I get? All because of you? What does he even see in you that I don't have?" she sobbed. "That's not possible. Mr. Jude can't be that callous. Why would he sack her because of what she did at the party? I would understand if she was queried, but saving her a sack later is to the extreme." Those were the thoughts running through Binta's mind. "You slut! Let's wait and see if you will last another week in this company," she threatened as she cried out of her office. She met Amara by the door and almost pushed her out of the way. "Wait! What is it with this girl? Is she a winch?" Amara said, laughing as she sat down, while Binta kept thinking of what to do. "Hey, African Tales by Kamma tribe. Do you think Mr. Jude was too harsh on Teju? And do you also think that Prosper is pushing his wife away? Because I can see the intelligent work and arrangements of the devil. Do you agree to my submission? Keep your comments coming. Please like, share and subscribe if you haven't. And you can please buy me a coffee using the link in my bio or the link in the description of this video. You can as well buy me a super thanks. Till I bring the next episode of the story your way, it is a goodbye from here and God bless you.